Hi you guys! This week we're going to start a Flappy Bird game. We're going to use functions to do this. A function is a set of rules that can be saved and used in other places. Functions are useful because they can be reused rather than writing the same piece of code over and over and over again. They also make the code shorter and easier to understand. Notice the Flappy Bird game and what components it is going to need in order to work. The bird falls when the user does nothing. This example up here does not have the bird falling, but we know it will. The bird stays in the air when the iPad's tapped on. The obstacles, the pipes there, are entering on the right side of the screen and traveling across to the left. And the game ends when the bird collides with any of the obstacles or the ground. So those are the components we're going to have to build. We're going to start by making a function that causes the bird to fall to the ground. We also want the bird to fall to the ground at an increasing speed, just like gravity's effect on any object that you drop on the ground.
So the first thing we're going to do is start a new project, and we're going to add, I guess, a bird. I think I'm just going to grab the mosquito here, and I'm going to put him near the top because we're going to make code for the mosquito to fall. Okay, so we're going to add the bird object, and then we're going to create when the game starts, because when the game starts we want the mosquito to fall. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a brand new function of our own. So we're going to tap this new block button right here, new block, and maybe we'll call it fall or free fall or whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do, when we want our character to change up and down, we use the change y by, because the y-axis is up and down. I always remember that by a yo-yo goes up and down. If we want to change it from left to right, we're going to change x by. So our obstacles in this game are going to go in the x direction, but our bird is going to go in the y direction. So here we're going to say change y by, and we don't want to set a value in here where they give us 100 as a default, because we don't want to have it just change in one amount. We want to have it variable. We want to have it increase in value. So we're going to put a variable in here. So what you're going to do is hold your finger right where the cursor is blinking, and then on the bottom we're going to collect objects. We're going to tap on objects right here, and we have a bunch of orange options here. We're going to hit new variable, and our new variable is going to be called let's say bird up down. Up, down. There we go. Okay, so it says self is going up and down, so we're going to change y by self up down. And then we're going to go to variables again. Whoops, and we're going to increase, because we want to increase the speed. So we're going to increase our new variable, bird up down, by, and we're going to play with our value here, but it's not going to move more than just a little bit. Like if I put a 1 in there, I don't even think we'll see it move. I think it just moved once. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to need a repeat block in there. That's what we forgot, because we want it to keep moving, and every time it moves we want it to increase speed by 1 in the y direction. So we're going to go grab a repeat forever block and drag these two things right in. Okay, there you go. And let's try it now. Well, wrong way, right? So we know what to do about that if we have the wrong direction in here. I'm not going to do that part for you, but I want you to experiment with some numbers in there and try to get, when you press play, we want the bird to fall. Hopefully you were able to get your bird to fall like this. Now experiment with set speed to set the speed, and also with changing the degrees, turn degrees. Fool around with some of those numbers until you can get your bird to speed up a little when it falls and maybe do a little bit of spinning as it falls, sort of like this.
At this point, your bird just falls non-stop. We now need to add the second part, which allows the bird to flap and stay afloat when we tap the iPad. When the bird flaps, it should move up the screen just a little, but then keep falling once you stop tapping. Think about how you might make this happen before you attempt to put the code on the screen. We're going to do this by changing the value that controls the bird's position. This is the variable we created called bird up down. We're going to change it to a positive number when the iPad is tapped. Try experimenting with this on your own a little bit. Remember the block when iPad is tapped, and then use set value and put your new variable bird up down in and try different numbers till it feels right. See how you do, and stay tuned for my next video where I'll show you one way to do it.